Alright, so the Star Wars fanboys, or should I say the Soy Wars fanboys, are probably gonna get pretty upset at this video, and I don't care, you can leave all the dislikes and angry comments you want, it's not gonna change the fact that this is pathetic. But Star Wars Outlaws was recently announced, and it comes from Ubisoft. So we know the game is probably going to be very open and also very empty, kind of like the brains of Ubisoft workers. Now the physical disc of this game, get this, the physical disc of this game, physical, is going to require internet connection to download. And this is a offline single player game. So yeah, you need internet for whatever reason to download this single player game. Even if you go out and buy a physical disc. I mean, Jesus Christ, Ubisoft. And everybody's favorite group of crayon-eating, glue-drinking, helmet-wearing idiots are defending this. Now, if you don't know why this is an issue, it's kind of a big thing going on with Ubisoft where they're saying that they don't want people to be comfortable with owning their own games. Gamers need to be comfortable not owning their own games. This basically stops you from playing an unpatched version of the game, which basically means the game is going to be broken as fuck on launch. We've seen this with so many games now. And it also means that when you go onto the game, you can't access the game unless the game connects to the internet and basically gets permission from Ubisoft to play the game. You know, Ubisoft, those same people are saying we need to be comfortable with not owning our own games, and who recently got into controversy for deleting people's games when they haven't logged in for a certain amount of time. Yeah, we need to ask that company for permission before you can play your game. And you might be thinking, well, they're not going to take away your game, they're not going to do this, they're not going to do that. I can't trust them, dude. I just can't trust them. And a lot of other people can't as well, because they have been getting dragged on their recent trailer. The dislikes are piling on their video. I'm so sick of these anti-consumer practices that these companies get so comfortable with adding. Like, no, fuck you, we're not buying your game unless you remove this shit. And that's why you've gotten so many dislikes. That and the fact that the game is probably gonna suck ass. What was the last big recent Ubisoft game? Wasn't it that Avatar Pandora game? That game was empty as fuck, nothing to do in that game. Unnecessarily large, empty, boring world. And I feel like this game is going to be the same. Well, let's go into some of the Soy Wars fanboys' defenses. Can someone explain to me why so many people are raging at Star Wars Outlaws needing an internet connection to be installed? You're home using the internet to complain about it on Twitter, an app that you use 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. It's 2024, why is this a problem? It's a problem because it's an anti-consumer practice that we don't want to get used to. It's a dumb practice and it needs to go the way of the dodo. It's also a problem because it stops people from playing the unpatched version of the game. Like I said before, the game is probably going to be broken and that's why they're making it require internet on day one so you can download some day one fix that fixes all the problems that should have been fixed when the game launched. It's also a problem because it defeats the entire purpose of a physical copy. It's physical, it's yours, you own it, you don't have to worry about losing access to it, you don't need internet, nothing like that. You own it, you pop it in the system and play. Or you copy this contents from the disc over to the system and play, no internet needed. That's what people like about physical copies. And you're kind of taking the entire purpose of that away by adding some stupid shit like this. I remember when Tears of the Kingdom came out, I went out, I bought the game, I didn't even have internet at the time, my internet was having troubles, and I popped it in my system and played. I wouldn't be able to do that with the new Star Wars Outlaws game because for whatever reason, Ubisoft doesn't want me playing my game without connecting to the internet for an offline single-player game. And he got quite a bit of criticism for this tweet, as you can expect, and you know what this absolute coward decided to do? He decided to lock the replies because the criticism was getting a little hard on his poor little feelings. Wild. I'm sorry that so many people are angry about this. It is the norm for AAA games. Well, not really, because not every game does this. Should it be? Nope. Is it? Yup. Enough people will buy the game regardless, and Ubisoft won't give a damn. Either buy the game or don't. Most of the complainers still will anyway. Basically, you agree that this is a problem, but instead of actually fighting against it, you bent over and said, "Give it to me, Ubisoft, my asshole's ready." But before he decided to lock the comments, he argued with a few people in his comments, basically calling him an idiot, because, well, he is an idiot. So basically, this guy replied to his tweet where he was asking why people were upset about it, and he said preservation, which is the whole point of buying a game physically. I agree. can't really keep a game if you gotta connect to a server to fill in what's not on the disk. And this guy replied, he doesn't actually tackle his argument because he can't. And he says, as if you unfollowed me over this. Yeah, he unfollowed you because he realized when he seen that tweet that you're an idiot. And this guy replies to his question saying it's a problem when they decide to shut down that server and the game becomes unplayable in 5 to 6 years. Oh well, what a great argument, dude. I mean, seriously. This guy points out an actual problem with what you said, and you just reply, oh well, because obviously you can't argue with him. Since you asked, 1. A game you purchased can be changed without your permission at any time. 2. You require internet to play a game that can be knocked out at any time. Imagine playing a difficult area, only you can't save your progress because you lost your internet. And this guy, instead of attacking his actual argument and responding to it, he tries to deflect the argument by saying, since you asked is a weird way to start a comment back to me. Yes, I did ask. Why are you highlighting that? Because you asked. He's replying to what you asked with an answer. Is this your first time communicating with another human? Welcome to Earth, motherfucker. I swear, this is like watching an alien try to communicate with a human. He just doesn't know how conversations work, and he's a grown-ass man. And this guy replies, because today I played my copy of Final Fantasy VII from 1998. Will the authentication server for this game be around in 25 years? And this guy says, maybe, who knows? That's the problem. I'm glad we finally acknowledged that. I'd rather not have to wonder if my game is going to be playable in the future because of some dumb anti-consumer practice that exists for absolutely no reason. I'm going to read out one more tweet from this guy, basically sucking off Ubisoft, because if I read out any more, it's going to make me literally angry. How are you not understanding there should be absolutely no need to have the internet to install a game? I would love if we got back to the point where we just put in the disc and started playing. When you install a downloaded game, do you use the internet? Not for a physical game, I don't. I went out and I got Tears of the Kingdom with no internet connection at the time. Popped it in my Nintendo Switch, and guess what? It worked. And it's very clear that you're just not able to reason with people like this. He has his face buried in Ubisoft's crotch. He's basically flossing his teeth with their pubic hair at this point, so let's just move on. So Wario64 here said, according to box art, internet is required to install Star Wars Outlaws. And obviously he's talking about a physical game because he's box art. Pretty sure your PS5 or Xbox Series X is already plugged into the internet or on Wi-Fi, so it's not a big deal. Except it's a physical game. We're not trying to download it from the internet. We want to either copy it from our disc over to our PlayStation or Xbox, or just have the game work straight up, like Tears of the Kingdom did for me. I don't understand people who say, well, you have internet, so what's the big deal? That's not the point. The point is, one day these servers are going to go down and we don't know if our game is going to be playable anymore. The point is, we might be in a difficult area and our internet might cut out, which will boot us off the game. The problem is, we might be having internet troubles, so we might just want to go get a game physically so we don't have to deal with shitty internet at the time. What don't you people understand about this? Also, it's just a blatantly anti-consumer practice that we don't want to get used to because it's anti-consumer for absolutely no reason at all. It doesn't need to be this way. Snap Blast Play says everyone below is using the internet to cry about wait, hold on a minute. I remember this guy. This guy had multiple posts trying to convince people that Redfall is a good game. Your opinion's irrelevant. Next. What AAA game doesn't require the internet for an update, etc. these days? How is this news? Honestly, and you say what AAA game isn't like this these days? People don't like AAA games anymore. Search up AAA gaming and try to find one video talking positively about it. And the final comment we have here is basically just 2024 who doesn't have internet. Once again, just not the point. Anyway, I don't really have all that much more to say. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and yeah, peace out.